Can you imagine how these pieces of bark can turn into something you would use or see at your own home? No, we are not talking about furniture or ornaments. These are what makes wine cork caps. In today's Lord Gizmo video, we will venture together and take a glimpse of how wine cork caps are made from scratch. Before that, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more. Wine cork caps are made from the bark of the cork oak tree. Of course, the first step of this process is harvesting. After reaching around 25 years old, cork trees are ready to be harvested. Unlike other trees, cork oak harvesting requires workers to manually remove the bark. They can use hand tools or specialized axes to do so. First, they make precise vertical cuts along the trunk, defining the sections of bark to be removed. A horizontal cut separates the designated bark section from the underlying cambium layer, the vital part responsible for new bark growth. After that, they will proceed to peel the bark carefully away from the tree. This will now result in these large sheets that they pile up on top of each other. Since it uses up the majority of the tree, the next harvest will not happen until after 9 to 12 years. This is enough time for the tree to regenerate and grow back. But do not worry, as this process can continue for up to 200 years, making cork oak trees a valuable and long-lasting resource. Then, these sheets are stacked and air-dried for several months to get rid of excess moisture content. After drying it up, the cork planks will be placed into this steam or large tanks of boiling water for at least an hour to soften its cells, as well as sanitize it before everything else. The processing starts with the workers checking if the cork sheets are in good condition. If they are, they will be transferred to this area where the initial cutting is done. Of course, it would be difficult and would take more time when they process the whole sheets. So, they cut it in smaller pieces through the help of these amazing machines. Then, automated or semi-automated punching machines accurately cut cylindrical cores from the strips. These cores become the individual wine corks. After that, the corks will be inspected to see their size, shape, porosity, and any blemishes. They need to meet the facility's standards so they can proceed to the next step. If you can notice, these are still too long to be cork caps, so let's move on to the next step in the process. The next step of this process usually involves specialized band saws or veneer slicing machines. They are programmed to cut down the planks into long, thin strips with the precise width needed for wine corks. Just like the previous steps, this process is assisted and done majorly by these high-technology machines that are incredibly accurate, ensuring consistent strip thickness for proper cork functionality. Once that is done, the batch of corks will undergo a series of inspections, which can include different systems and tests. With high-end cork producers, they have successfully employed CT scanning technology to analyze the internal structure of each cork. Through these screens, they will be able to detect any visual imperfections, check if the corks can seal the bottle well, and even look at its internal structure. Then, they will go through a machine that labels them to complete the process. A portion of these labeled cork wine covers will now be transported to another part of the facility, which is usually their laboratory or quality control center. Here, they will further check the quality and grade the corks by how well it performs. A series of tests will be done on them. For instance, they will be tested if they cover up the wine bottles well, how well they perform, and even how quickly they come off the bottles. All are still done through the help of machines, so objective and consistent testing is done. The remaining corks from the previous batch will proceed with grading. They will be sent over this area via conveyor belts, where workers are waiting for them. These workers are trained to examine the corks manually and see if they all pass their standards. Although this process is still assisted by machines, it is important to know that manual labor is extremely important here too. The workers will manually discard caps that do not pass their required quality to ensure that the only corks they distribute are those that will meet the needs of the customers. Now, these cork caps will be packaged into airtight bags to prepare them for transportation. Their journey as a cork cap for wine bottles will now start as they leave the facility. After they are used to close up wine bottles, they will be put into boxes and sealed to get ready for wider distribution. Since cork is mostly used in items that involve food and is directly touched by consumers, it is also important that it undergoes a series of treatment and sterilization. Most of the time, this is done through exposing it to high levels of heat. There are a lot of specific ways to do this, given the high level of technology facilities now have, but one of the most popular ways is through the use of a similar concept with microwaves. The cork will be heated to achieve faster drying and sterilization compared to traditional methods. Since it is still a flammable material, the workers monitor this process strictly to ensure safety. After that, this is how the cork will look like, broken down into smaller pieces. Thanks to that new structure, it is much easier to transform the cork into these different shapes. Once that is finished, they will be transferred to another facility. The purpose of this area is to steam the broken down corks and transform them into these big blocks. Now, the corks are not only used for wine caps, but for other materials too. This cork block can be made into the base of slippers and sandals, parts of furniture and utensils, and a whole lot more. This is where our video ends. We hope that after watching this video, you now have found a new appreciation for the cork cap that covers up your favorite wine. It may be very small, but a lot of effort has been put into making that. We hope you learned a thing or two. Before you leave, please do not forget to show this video some love, subscribe to our channel, and click the notification bell so you can be notified whenever we post new videos. If you want to learn more, we also have a separate video on copper mining and manufacturing from the largest deposits in the world. Be sure to check that out.